Hi, I'm Jeanette Roche. This is Forum Daily West. Here are some of the top stories we've been following. As devastating fires blaze through Los Angeles, we speak with an eyewitness who's on standby for evacuation. Plus, former U.S. President Jimmy Carter laid to rest, with both Justin Trudeau and Donald Trump in attendance. And the sentencing hearing kicks off for 3 men found guilty in the Coutts border mischief trial, including a former Fort Macleod town councilor. Thanks so much for joining us. The sentencing hearing for 3 men found guilty of mischief at the Coutts border blockade is now underway after months of delay. Marco Van Hugenbos, Alex Van Herk, and George Jansen were considered leaders at the protest to block the major border crossing the U.S. on Highway 4. BCN's Landon Hickok has more from the Lethbridge Courthouse.
The sentencing hearings for Marco Van Hugenbos, Alex Van Herk, and George Jansen is now underway at the Lethbridge Courthouse starting on Thursday. As an update at the beginning of the hearing, Alex Van Herk had notified the court that he has terminated his defense lawyer and is requesting 30 days to seek new counsel. The proceedings for Van Hugenbos and Jansen will proceed as normal. In comparison, at a separate trial, Chris Carbert and Anthony Olenek, who were also at the Coutts border blockade, were handed 6.5-year sentences for unauthorized possession of firearms and mischief. Olenek separately was also guilty of unauthorized possession of an explosive. Both men were given 6 months concurrent for their mischief charge and their roles on top of the sentences already given to them. Crown Prosecutor Stephen Johnson recommended to the justice that Marco Van Hugenbos should be given a 9-month jail sentence, while George Jansen be given a 6-month sentence. He did not give a recommendation for the sentence of Alex Van Herk, as he is now searching for new counsel at this time. The Crown argues that the 3 men acted as leaders at the Coutts border blockade, where they blocked the highway and border crossing at Coutts Sweetgrass, about an hour south of Lethbridge. Supporters at the courthouse say all of this was a response to illegal measures by the federal government during the COVID-19 pandemic to enforce more restrictions.
I know that there was millions of Canadians across Canada that were out assembling against the government, against the actions of the government, not necessarily the government themselves, but with the mandates, the vaccines, and the lockdowns. I think people had actually had it. They've been pushed to their limit, and once they reached that limit, they started to get together outside of their homes and make a little bit of noise. The prosecutor and the judges in these cases, they never seem to put it in context, and I think that's one of the biggest problems. The context is that the country was being basically attacked by its own government.
The sentencing hearing will at least continue for Van Hugenbos and Jansen tomorrow on Friday, while Van Herk searches for a new defense lawyer in the meantime. And we'll be there to give you all the details here on Bridge City News.
Backbench Ottawa MP Chandra Arya is entering the Liberal leadership race. He says he wants to replace Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and offer, quote, bold political decisions to solve Canada's problems. Arya joins former Montreal MP Frank Baylis as the only 2 declared candidates in the race so far. Former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland and former central banker Mark Carney are among the higher profile Liberals said to be considering leadership bids. According to Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre, it doesn't matter who steps up to become the next leader of the Liberal Party because they're all just like Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Speaking with reporters in Ottawa today, Poilievre said Liberal MPs claim Trudeau did a great job, but he's resigning because he's unpopular with Canadians.
And that unpopularity threatens their power, paychecks, and pension. And so, right before an election, the Liberal MPs want to elect another Justin Trudeau who has a different face. They're all Justin Trudeau. They're all just like Justin. In the next election, I will be running against Justin Trudeau. Whether his name is Justin Trudeau, or his name is Chrystia Freeland, or Carbon Tax Carney, or Carbon Tax Clark, they will all be Justin Trudeau.
Meanwhile, the Calgary Flames game scheduled last night against the Los Angeles Kings had to be rescheduled, and the NBA has postponed today's LA Lakers game against the Charlotte Hornets as massive wildfires burn in California. It is the second straight day a game slated to be played in downtown Los Angeles has been postponed. The date for the rescheduled games will be announced at a later time. The 4 major fires in the Los Angeles area have now killed at least 5 people, ravaged communities from the Pacific Coast to Pasadena, and sent thousands of people frantically fleeing their homes. Our U.S. correspondent Lisa Daftari and her family, who live in West Los Angeles, are currently on standby for evacuation orders. She joins me now with an update. Lisa, thanks for taking the time to do this. What's the situation looking like right now where you are? And first and foremost, are you safe?
We are obviously sitting on the edge of our seats here because we are very close to the fires. Everybody knows somebody who's, or multiple people who have lost their homes. We know dozens of families who have been evacuated. Most of our family has been evacuated, and it's only miles from here. These are, streets and homes and businesses and supermarkets that we would frequent. And it's just horrific to see these businesses go down, to see people lose their homes, to see, such devastation. And as somebody said to me, it's burning at 2 football fields a minute, which is just something that we cannot wrap our minds around, how quickly this just spread and how much devastation this is causing.
Yeah, that's just horrifying. And of course, we've been seeing the video of so much destruction, and the City of Angels looks just like the opposite of that right now. And I've heard that fire has spread to the Hollywood Hills and is close to historic landmarks like the Hollywood sign and also the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and Sunset Boulevard is on fire. And there have been some deaths. But what is the city and the county doing to get a handle on this, Lisa? I understand there's some criticism due to the cutback of funding.
The death toll is low at this point. That may rise. I think it's about 5 right now, and that has to do more with the Altadena fire, which is just about 10 or 15 miles from here. But it's just crazy to think that this could not have, that they did not get a handle on this, that the response has been inadequate. There's so much emotion right now for Angelenos, not only in not knowing if their homes will still be there when they go back, not knowing, trying to get their pets out, trying to get themselves out, trying to help the elderly, trying to help the handicapped, and then also, dealing with the inadequacy, paying, probably the highest taxes in the country here in the United States than California, and then Los Angeles County being one of the highest taxes in the country, and then not getting a proper response, not getting the firefighters out in time, not having enough water, not having, just not being prepared, no water in the fire hydrants. I mean, it's horrific to think that people are paying these kinds of taxes and then not having that support, that safety, that protection from their government and from local authorities. Our mayor was out of town. They allocated money away from the fire department. It's not just defund the police. This was also defund the fire department. And a time where we know that we have these Santa Ana winds every year. We know that we have a risk of fire every single year. So there is a lot of emotion, a lot of accusations, a lot of questions, and not enough answers and not enough apologies.
Yeah, it sounds like emotions are running very high there in Los Angeles. But Lisa, thank you for joining me for this update. Our prayers are with you. Stay safe. That was Lisa Daftari joining us from West Los Angeles. Well, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith says neighbors are always there for each other in times of need. She says the province is preparing to send water bombers, night vision helicopters, and incident command team support to help battle the deadly wildfires ravaging parts of Los Angeles. Ontario Premier Doug Ford has also offered a helping hand as crews from Quebec and BC are already in the state trying to help contain the flames. The fires have killed at least 5 people and forced thousands to flee their homes, including Canadians. And U.S. President Joe Biden gave the eulogy today at Carter's funeral, recalling their long friendship. During his speech, Biden, who will leave office in 11 days, hinted at politics in repeating several times that character was Carter's chief attribute. Biden said that Carter taught him that everyone should be treated with dignity and respect.
Deep friendship that started in 1974. I was a 31-year-old senator, and I was the first senator outside of Georgia, maybe the first senator, to endorse his candidacy for president. It was an endorsement based on what I believe is Jimmy Carter's enduring attribute, character. I miss him, but I take solace in knowing that he and his beloved Rosalind are reunited again.
Spectators braved the cold weather to watch former U.S. President Jimmy Carter's casket travel through the nation's capital Thursday as it went from the U.S. Capitol building to the National Cathedral for his funeral.
You know, we were kids when he was a president, and, you know, just that nostalgia of wanting to see and experience some, and you know, it was supposed to be a beautiful day. We're like, let's get up early and head on down and experience it. It has been a proud moment, I have to say, to see the community like just sort of stop, just sort of pause to honor such a great man.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was among the leaders at Washington National Cathedral today to pay their respects to the 39th U.S. Trump has recently suggested he'll make good on his promise to impose a hefty tariff on Canadian imports and has ramped up his rhetoric about using economic force to annex Canada and make it the 51st U.S. state. Trudeau was quoted earlier this week saying there isn't a, quote, snowball's chance in hell of Canada becoming part of the United States. Canada, meantime, is looking to target U.S. steel and plastics with retaliatory tariffs in response to the trade dispute with the incoming Trump administration. The list is not final. Trump has threatened to impose 25% tariffs on Canadian and Mexican imports as soon as he's inaugurated later this month. Ontario Premier Doug Ford shared his thoughts after a virtual meeting with other provincial and territorial leaders on what Canada needs to do to meet this challenge.
We have a strong plan. I know the premiers have a strong plan, but we want to see where the federal government stands right now. Keep in mind, the Prime Minister is still the Prime Minister, the Minister is still the Minister, and until that changes, we're going to make sure that we hold their feet to the fire and come out as a united country on a message to our American friends and allies. And let's just make sure that we do everything in our power, I mentioned to the premiers, to avoid these tariffs. I personally feel they're coming hard. The president has really ramped up his talking points over the last day or two, and we're concerned.
Trudeau and the premiers will meet in Ottawa next week to discuss Canada's response plan, including retaliatory tariffs. Ford also said a group of premiers would be visiting Washington, D.C. on February 12th to meet with elected U.S. officials. Members of the public are warning others of a new scam that is beginning to make its rounds. Scammers are allegedly calling people pretending to be with stars and informing them they have won money and prizes. According to Stars Lottery Alberta, the 2025 draws do not begin until January 28th. If you receive a suspicious phone call, you should contact your local police. Well, firefighters quickly contained a north side commercial structure fire in Lethbridge Wednesday evening. The blaze happened in the 1800 block of 39th Street North at approximately 5:40 p.m. Crews from 4 stations were dispatched to the scene. Firefighters quickly extinguished the flames. No injuries were reported. The damage is estimated to be under $10,000. The cause of the fire remains under investigation. International Women's Day is coming up March the 8th. In honor of the event, the YWCA Lethbridge 2025 Women of Distinction Awards is now open for community members to nominate exceptional and inspiring women. The group's events, marketing, and communications coordinator, Lorianne Johansson, talks about the categories for those distinctions, which seek to recognize and empower women in our community.
The nominations are open for the entire month of January. There are 7 categories available. Each category is specific to women who spend their time volunteering and building bridges in our community. The Lottie M. Austin Lifetime Achievement, the Young Woman of Promise, the Bridge Builder of the Guiding Light, the Icon of Impact, the Catalyst for Change, and the new Shattered Ceilings Award. We are accepting 5-minute video submissions as part of your nomination package. We do still accept the written submissions. The nomination package is available for download on our website, or you can email communications directly to receive a PDF copy of the nomination package. Tickets are also available if you want to make sure you get a ticket to this year's awards dinner. Those are available on our website, as well as the sponsorship package if you would like to contribute financially to the success of this event and support the YWCA.
That is your Forum Daily West report. I'm Jeanette Roche. Thanks so much for watching.